What if I told you that the Gaza Strip, a land of just 365 square kilometers, holds a significant place in the chronicles of Middle Eastern geopolitics? Indeed, this sliver of land, nestled between Israel and Egypt, has a history that is as rich as it is tumultuous. Its genesis can be traced back to the aftermath of the Second World War, a time when the world was reeling and boundaries were being redrawn. In the heart of the Middle East, the formation of the Gaza Strip was taking shape. In the year of 1948, the Arab-Israeli War erupted, a war that would forever change the landscape of the region. The Arab nations rallied together, their combined military might aimed at the newly established state of Israel. The war was fierce, and the world watched with bated breath as events unfolded. When the dust finally settled, the Gaza Strip found itself under Egyptian military occupation. But what was it about this small stretch of land that held such strategic importance? You see, the Gaza Strip is located at a critical juncture, a crossroads, if you will. It acts as a geographical bridge between Africa and Asia, making it a valuable asset for trade and military maneuvers. It's no surprise that this tiny territory has been the subject of numerous conquests throughout history. The Egyptian occupation, however, was not to last. As the winds of change swept across the Middle East, the Gaza Strip was once again thrust into the limelight. The Egyptian military occupation ended in the mid-1950s, but this was merely a prelude to a series of events that would further shape the destiny of the Gaza Strip. Thus, the stage was set for a series of events that would shape not only the Middle East, but the world. As we delve deeper into the history of the Gaza Strip, we will uncover the layers of conflict, struggle and resilience that have come to define this unique region. How did 6 days in 1967 radically change the fate of the Gaza Strip? In June 1967, the Middle East witnessed a war of such brevity yet profound impact that it would alter the course of history. This was the 6-Day War, a conflict that saw Israel pitted against Egypt, Jordan and Syria. But beyond the broad geopolitical shifts, let's narrow our focus to one particular region, the Gaza Strip. At the onset of the war, the Gaza Strip was under Egyptian rule. However, the swift victory of the Israeli forces led to a significant territorial expansion for Israel, which included the occupation of the Gaza Strip. With this shift in power, the lives of the people residing in this densely populated region were irrevocably altered. The Israeli occupation brought with it significant political changes. The governance of the Gaza Strip was now under a foreign military power, a reality that was met with resistance and resentment by the local populace. The shift in power also led to an influx of Palestinian refugees into the Strip, exacerbating the already high population density and straining resources. But the impact of the 6-Day War was not limited to political shifts and population dynamics. It also had a profound effect on the lives of the people in the Gaza Strip. With the Israeli occupation, freedom of movement was curtailed and economic activities were heavily regulated. For many, this meant a loss of livelihood and an increasing dependence on humanitarian aid. The social fabric of the region was also tested as people grappled with the realities of life under occupation. The aftermath of the 6-Day War set the stage for the decades of conflict and tension that would follow in the Gaza Strip. It marked the beginning of a new era, an era of Israeli control, of resistance movements, and of a struggle for self-determination that continues to this day. In a matter of 6 days, the Gaza Strip found itself under a new rule, leading to a new chapter in its history. Can a mass uprising change the course of history? This question brings us to the crux of our third act, where we delve into the First Intifada and the Oslo Accords. The First Intifada, or uprising, erupted in late 1987, a spontaneous and widespread rebellion against decades of Israeli occupation. It was a seismic shift in the Israeli-Palestinian narrative as the world witnessed Palestinians armed primarily with stones, challenging the might of one of the most sophisticated military powers. Young and old, men and women, the Palestinian society as a whole stood up in defiance. It was a rebellion marked by strikes, boycotts, civil disobedience, and yes, violence too. But it was also a cry for justice, a demand for self-determination, a longing for a homeland. The Intifada had its price, both sides suffered casualties, and the daily life in the region was marked by chaos and uncertainty. But it also forced the world to pay attention. It put the Palestinian issue back on the global diplomatic stage, and it led eventually to the Oslo Accords. In 1993, the world watched as Yitzhak Rabin and Yasser Arafat shook hands on the White House lawn. The Oslo Accords, facilitated by the United States, were hailed as a historic breakthrough. They led to the establishment of the Palestinian Authority and marked the beginning of Israeli forces' partial withdrawal from the West Bank and Gaza Strip. The Accords, however, were not without their critics. Many Palestinians felt they did not go far enough, while many Israelis feared they went too far. And yet, they were a symbol of hope, a promise of a peaceful coexistence that had seemed impossible for so long. The First Intifada and the Oslo Accords marked a significant shift in the Israeli-Palestinian dynamics. They underscored the power of grassroots resistance and the potential for diplomatic negotiation. But they also left many questions unresolved, setting the stage for the tumultuous years to come. What happens when peace agreements fail? This question forces us to grapple with the realities of the Second Intifada and the blockade on the Gaza Strip, stark reminders of the volatility and complexity of peace in the region. The Second Intifada, which erupted in late 2000, was a period of intensified Israeli-Palestinian violence. This uprising, unlike the first, was marked by suicide bombings and other forms of violent attacks, leading to a significant escalation in the conflict. It was a time of heightened fear and tension, where hope for peace seemed to be slipping away. In the midst of this turmoil, in 2005, Israel made the decision to disengage from Gaza. This unilateral move was seen as an attempt to reduce friction between Israelis and Palestinians. However, the disengagement created a power vacuum that led to further instability, allowing groups like Hamas to gain a foothold. In response to the growing threat from Hamas and other militant groups, Israel and Egypt imposed a blockade on the Gaza Strip in 2007. This blockade, which restricts the movement of people and goods in and out of Gaza, has been a source of international controversy. Critics argue that it amounts to collective punishment, severely impacting the lives of ordinary Gazans. The blockade has had a devastating impact on Gaza's economy, leading to widespread poverty and unemployment. Basic necessities such as food, water and medicine are in short supply, making life incredibly difficult for the residents of Gaza. The blockade has also restricted access to construction materials, hampering efforts to rebuild infrastructure damaged during the conflict. The Second Intifada and the blockade have served as a painful reminder of the fragility of peace agreements. They have shown us that without a comprehensive and lasting solution, the cycle of violence and suffering is prone to repeat itself. The Second Intifada and the blockade have had a profound impact on the lives of Gazans. Their effects continue to shape the socio-political landscape of the region, underlining the urgent need for a just and sustainable resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Where does the Gaza Strip stand today amidst the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict? As we veer towards the present day, the Gaza Strip, a narrow piece of land along the eastern Mediterranean, reveals a complex and layered narrative. The political scenario continues to be a volatile chessboard, with Hamas, the Palestinian political organization, maintaining its de facto control. Despite facing international isolation due to its classification as a terrorist organization by many, Hamas remains deeply entrenched in the governance of the Strip. The living conditions in Gaza are a testament to the indomitable spirit of its people. With an alarming unemployment rate and around 80% of the population reliant on international aid, life is far from easy. Infrastructure remains in ruins, the aftermath of repeated conflicts. Yet, life persists. The resilience of the Gazan people is nothing short of remarkable, their determination to thrive in the face of adversity inspiring. Gaza's international relations are as complex as its internal dynamics. The blockade imposed by Israel and Egypt, citing security concerns, has only exacerbated the humanitarian crisis. Yet, the international community remains divided on its stance. While human rights organizations call for an end to the blockade, political maneuverings continue to shape the discourse around the Gaza Strip. As we delve into the story of the Gaza Strip, we are reminded of how this small piece of land has played a monumental role in shaping the history of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It has been the epicenter of political upheavals, a witness to human resilience, and a symbol of the broader Middle Eastern geopolitics. The Gaza Strip, small yet significant, continues to play a pivotal role in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the broader Middle Eastern geopolitics. Despite its challenges, the people of Gaza continue to aspire for a future of peace and prosperity, a testament to their enduring spirit. As we continue to engage with this topic, let's remember the importance of informed discussions and further research.